Dr. Ben Bikman, BYU, Plagues of Prosperity, Part 2.
Based on these data and dozens of related clinical studies, 3 conclusions have become pillars for me. 1. We need to control carbohydrates. I'm not advocating the avoidance of an entire group of macronutrients. After all, carbohydrates include a remarkable range of foods. If the carbohydrate comes in a bag or a box with a barcode, it's likely one to be careful with. Of course, sugar, in its many forms and clever names, is uniquely terrible. This includes fruit juice and smoothies. If you want to control insulin and enjoy fruit, eat it. Don't drink it. 2. We should prioritize protein. A case has recently been made in scientific literature that recommendations of dietary protein are insufficient for most people to maintain and promote muscle and bone mass, which is critical for maintaining good health and insulin sensitivity throughout life. Depending on age and activity, an optimal level of dietary protein is around 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram body weight. Importantly, this need for dietary protein increases with age. As we get older, we need more protein. 3. We need to stop fearing fat. We have a strong cultural aversion to dietary fat. In fact, by many estimates, we eat a smaller portion of our diets from fat now than ever before. Dietary fat is a remarkable energy source. Because it has no effect on insulin on its own, in a way, it has the ability to feed our bodies, but not our fat, providing a new version of an old adage, we aren't what we eat. For the second part of this process, I recommend you test what you learn. When you think you've found sufficient evidence to support an ideal lifestyle plan to fight insulin resistance and its related complications, try it for a month. Keep in mind that the changes you make will ideally be sufficiently practical to follow indefinitely.
For many years, the medical establishment has simply said, eat less, exercise more. Has this worked?
By basing a lifestyle plan on eating less and exercising more, we are ensuring an almost constant battle against hunger, and hunger usually wins. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are not spared from the plagues of prosperity, these chronic diseases that stem from insulin resistance. In fact, evidence suggests we may suffer from them more than members of other religions. Prophets and apostles have divinely interpreted the application of the word of wisdom to include avoiding a short list of habit-forming substances, but they've not gone further, nor should we. As President Packer stated, the word of wisdom has not been spelled out in more detail. May we appreciate that our bodies can be a tool to help us develop divine attributes that prepare us for eternal progression.
Summary. The effect of macronutrients on insulin. As you can see, carbohydrates cause insulin to spike, while protein and fat do not. Control carbohydrates. If it comes in a bag or a box with a barcode, be careful. Control carbohydrates. Sugar is terrible. This includes fruit juice and smoothies. Prioritize protein. Optimal daily intake, 1.5 grams for each kilogram of your ideal body weight. This need for dietary protein increases with age. Stop fearing fat. This chart shows that over the past 30 to 40 years, the intake of carbohydrates for both men and women has steadily increased, while the intake for fat has steadily decreased, and protein has remained about the same. Dr. Bikman suggests that you test what you learn. Try it for a month. It should be sufficiently practical to follow indefinitely. Dr. Bikman recommends do your own research. There are 2 resources listed. The first is his own insuliniq.com. The second is Dr. Sean Baker's meatrx.com.